Good evening, YouTube. My name's Andy Peterson, and this is day 11 of the 100-Day Music Challenge. Thanks again for following along and watching the videos. I really appreciate it. Tried something a little new last night, going live. It looks like the video feed is a little bit less good quality when I do that. Since I am using my phone for everything right now, I don't have any other equipment for recording video that's going to be as easy for me to just upload things right away when they're done. So we're just going to stick with this for now. I think what I'm toying with the idea of is going live on Monday nights. We'll see where my brain goes with that as time progresses here. But I digress. I think tonight we're going to do a little bit of accordion work on the couple of pieces that I have been trying to get down a little bit better, as far as making sure that I am not going too quickly, that I'm actually getting all the notes. And since I have Torvald here ready to rock and roll, we'll just go ahead and play on that instrument tonight. I still haven't taken apart the Dalape to see what's going on with the bass section. If that's something you'd like to see, leave that in the comments, and I can maybe do that on Wednesday or Thursday and give you a breakdown. It wouldn't necessarily be something where I'm making music, but it is still musical, and since I'm making the rules for this challenge, I think it still counts for the videos. So, I can do that as one of the videos. If that would interest you, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just do something else. Right, accordion's right over here. So. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh. So, tonight then, we're gonna start off, I think, by correcting my... Do I have these on the right? I don't. Maybe. Nope. Hang on. Hang on, tangled straps. Nobody wants that. That's the worst. There we go, that feels better. They felt just a little bit short, so it wasn't sitting right on my body. So, when you're playing a button accordion like this, you want for the bottom of the button board to be right by your chin as much as you can. It just allows for better posture while you're playing and easier access to the notes, and it's what my teachers have told me, so it's what I do. Again, no breath button on this one, so I have to make the monster music if I want to close it. Looks like you can't really see much of it from there, so I will back up. Yeah, let's recenter the camera a little bit. Welcome to YouTube, where Andy figures out how the heck he's supposed to center things. Hooray! I know I haven't been the most careful with my language in a couple of the videos. I will try to improve that. Especially knowing that now I have two of my grandmothers watching these videos. Hi, grandmas! Love you! Sorry in advance. I'll keep the bar of soap handy if I need it. Cables from my computer making it hard. There we go. We're organized and ready to go. I plan these things far in advance. Wait, no, the opposite of that. Oh, man. So that's part of what made me so nervous about putting out content, is exactly this kind of thing. But, hey, we're having fun. Actually, I have been having quite a bit of fun with this. So, typical warm-up that I do on my accordion is I just play a chromatic scale up and down so I can get a feel for where my fingers are supposed to go. I'll blow the dust out on the left-hand side just by doing that kind of thing. But then I'll usually play a scale on the left-hand side as well. So, starting with our chromatic scale, it's going to be a little bit different than it is on the Dalape, just because the buttons are slightly smaller, they are slightly closer together, and it has a bit of a difference as to where it actually starts, I think, in regards to actual note. But I might be very, very wrong. Oh. So let's just start with our bellows closed here. Oh my goodness, wow, we're failing tonight. Let's try that again. this also gives me a chance to hear if anything goofy is going on with the reeds. You can kind of hear how one of those two is just a little bit out. Which is actually correct. On this particular instrument has what they call a wetter tuning. The wetter a tuning is in an accordion, it has nothing to do with the moisture level. But when you have if you think back to the video we had a couple nights ago on accordion, how they work, the two middle reeds that are on the same octave together, if they are tuned almost identically, that's what we call a dry tuning. And then you have more of a robust sound, but you can't really tell that there's two reeds together in there. Whereas a wetter tuning, one of the reeds is going to be exactly on the correct note, and the other reed is going to be just slightly higher or lower, which gives it kind of the sound that you might expect out of the stereotypical French accordion kind of sound, where it's this kind of, I don't know if that's in tune or not. It is on purpose, in fact, for it to give it that kind of sound. So if I switch this, the only option on this accordion is, do I want both middles or one middle? So if I have it on one middle, nice pure clean tone, but in comparison to the bass, if I try to play both the bass and the treble together, frankly, the bass kind of drowns it out. So if I switch it to both reeds, see, hear how you kind of have that warble almost sound to it, since this reed in particular is really good at, you almost can hear the whoa, 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 as the two reeds are just slightly vibrating differently. And then, when I play my bass note, it's much more balanced, because this is now putting out twice the sound that it was before. So on this instrument, playing with one reed really isn't an option unless you're just doing like the bass note itself. But as soon as you start throwing in the chords, it just totally drowns out what's going on the right hand. Yeah. So there's a little bit of theory, and I think I've spent enough time on that, so we'll skip ahead. Maybe in the next accordion video I'll talk more about the left-hand side mechanics. But yeah, let's start off with the Kievs Waltz here, Kievs Waltz, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing, but hey, here we go. So, oh, I didn't warm up my left-hand side, so... And then on my other one, I'll switch it to the high reeds, but this one only has the one setting. So. Notice how, for that whole chord, the whole octave, scale, that whole scale, how my hand didn't move a whole lot. The TLDR version is, this is not on the left-hand side arranged in what you might think of as a sideways piano, like we are over here on the buttons, where you've got... If I go from one to the next, it's actually in fifth. Another video. Anyway, okay. Okay, anyway, serious time. We're making music. This is serious. We can't have fun. We have to do the thing. No, you gotta have some fun. Otherwise, what's the point? Okay, so found my A. It's in minor. We've got both reeds on. Let's do this. Okay, so I can tell my heart is racing a little bit because I know I'm being recorded, so I've got a little bit of those nerves from a live performance. So I'm just going to take a couple of deep breaths to try to slow down my heart rate a little bit. I don't know about you all as musicians, if you're a musician and you're watching this, but for me, if my heart really gets going, it's much more likely I'm going to speed than I should. Okay. I'm still speeding. That's where that spacing is really killing me. D, 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 where is D? There's D. Find it eventually. Keep faking until you make it there. So apparently, according to my teacher, to D, in Ukrainian music like this, it's traditional that on the last note, no chord is played on the left-hand side. You only play the note itself. So the A in this case. Whereas with a lot of other traditions of accordion music, you'd be expected to play the chord. But in the Ukrainian music, it's... So, yeah, I don't know why, but that's the thing. Cool. I'm going to try running from I'm just going to run the second half of the piece one more time here. As a musician, I trap myself quite a bit in... I have a habit of running the beginning of pieces more than I run the endings of pieces. Because it's natural. We want to start at the beginning. But the problem is then I practice the beginning and I mess up. So I go back and I practice the beginning again. I messed up. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing the beginning. Well, then I'm playing the beginning to the end. Oh, I messed up the end. Let me start at the beginning and play to the end again. Nope, messed up the end. Beginning to the end. So the ending of the piece never really gets the same attention, the same kind of love that I give the beginning of the piece. Which leads to me going like, yeah, I know this song. I'm great at this song. What do I do at measure 25? So let's start at measure 25 and see what we can do, especially since I distracted myself with how satisfying the bass note was. It was So let's just start there. So this is where we just got through a... Creative fingering there. C and A there. Down to G and A7. 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 I was going the wrong way there. Like, I don't have a whole lot more. Actually, that's about as far as these bellows will stretch. The dallapé will go a little farther, but. Okay, anyway. Let's move over to Josephine's. Okay, so this is another waltz, because we're just in a waltzy kind of thing right now, apparently. Let me just get the melody back in my head here, so. Just skipping the first repeat. Ooh! So that's where that spacing gets me, because on my dallapé it would be more down here, but that's a whole minor third higher than it needs to be, so. So I got in trouble a little bit too with going into new keys, remembering, okay, I need to make the B flat. This one's in F, so I've got B flat. Being that I have been a vocalist and I haven't really played a whole lot of instruments until the last couple of years with the accordion, for whatever reason, I have an easier time singing those accidentals, which are actually just part of the key signature, than I do playing them. When I'm playing them, I'm thinking, okay, I got to go to a different note here. So my teacher made a suggestion. When you're looking at a piece like this that is in the key of F, so it has a single flat, there is no B. The note B does not exist in this piece. There's only B flat. So, and that seems to have helped a bit, but I'm still, you know, every once in a while, several in a while, needing a little help with that. So it's just a... Except I'm skipping the repeat for the sake of time, so so it still seems. F da 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 da. Oh, hang on. Da 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 da. Oops, it's supposed to be B. Oh, what did I do? B flat and then 2 F, F right there, then C7, then F. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it. Put your hands together, Andy. You can do it. Yeah. Thank you, Arnold, for that. Right. Oh my goodness, we're trying to go too fast. I thought I had a note stick in there. There's that B flat. There is no B, only B flat. There we go. Stop that. Thank you. Stop. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. I know I'm not. All right, you dirty rat. We're just going to ignore you then. That's what I thought. There we go. Alright, that's enough of that. Holy moly. Okay, so I made a fool of myself a couple of times there, but hey, that's part of the fun. So, yes, so I've got a sticky F in that. On the right-hand side, I've got a sticky something on the left-hand side of my other instrument. So, if I could just take the left-hand side of the Bayan and the right-hand side of the Dalape and make one nice little huge accordion thing out of that unholy marriage, that would be beautiful. But they're not quite that interchangeable. So that is not what I will be doing. I will just need to take both apart. Woohoo! So yeah, if you want to see some accordion surgery, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon. That is, okay, let's think about this because this is mirrored right now. I think it's going to be in this side because it's supposed to be on the right-hand side and I'm mirrored. I'm probably not right. But if you hit the little thing that looks like a bell, you'll get a notification anytime a new video comes out. Otherwise, you can go to my Facebook, subscribe to Dramatic Overtures on Facebook. We'll continue making new content here for the next several days. I'm going to try to get better at looking right at the camera and not at myself, but at the camera, not at myself. Camera, self, camera, self, camera. Okay, love you. Bye. Next video, things. Ah!